Hi, good morning, everyone. Yes, this is the Jane Eyre journal. It is not Tom Brown at Oxford, but I wanted to just give you a little introduction to the video that's coming up. I did do a complete tutorial on how I made the spine for this journal. I did decide to use an existing book, and I wanted to have the same feel as an old book, but I did need to expand the spine. So that is what you're going to see going forward. And so right now we're finally about to put the cover onto this journal at long last. After everything we've gone through, I'm not going to open it up and show you what's in there because I will do a flip through. You have to let me know in this video before we start with the whole how I did the spine. You have to let me know, do you want me to do a little bit of the ephemera making that I pursue in finishing up this video, or do you just want me to do a final flip through? I don't want to bore you any more than I need to. So I hope you enjoy what's coming up, and I look forward to speaking with all of you again soon. Thank you and welcome and happy Sunday. To begin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reconstruct the spine using this archival bookbinding material that's really very sturdy and stiff, and it's got a very stiff weave. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it to be a little bit wider than the existing spine so that I can reconstruct the spine after I cut it in half down the middle, because what I want to achieve is more of a book-like quality to the spine. I don't want it to be stiff. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut up the middle of the spine, and then I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to take my archival glue. Now this glue is PVA glue. It's very rubbery and has a lot of give to it, so it's perfect for book spines. It's actually made for book spines. So these bottles are huge. They last forever. I think I've had this bottle for 4 years, and I'm down to the very bottom of it. I need to order another one, but this stuff works great. It doesn't get hard and crusty. It has a very plastic feel to it, very rubbery. So I'm just going to place this to join the two pieces of the spine together once again. And what I'm doing is I'm just building it up using basically similar materials to the original materials that were used to make the spine. And now I've just decided to use some really wide weave burlap just to add some bulk to the spine so that it's not flimsy. This will all be covered up, but it also it has a lot of breathing room, and it will make the spine very malleable, which is what I want. I want the spine to have some give to it so that the journal can open up and sort of lie flat when the pages are opened up, when the signatures are open, so you can sort of work in it, maybe write on the signatures, whatever, but I just want it to be very, very forgiving. So I'm trimming off the top of my archival bookbinding weave stuff. It's called Line Co. I'll put a link to where I got it. I get everything on Amazon pretty much. I just I rely on Amazon. But I always smooth it out so that it really touches all the parts that I need held down. So I'm just going over my Line Co. Material just to make sure it's really stuck to the book. Okay, once again, I'm just really spreading the PVA glue over as much of the line coat that I've put down on the spine as possible, so that I can then, adhere my burlap and get it down as tight as possible. And so I'm just gonna sort of move it around and get it like I want it to be. And you can see that the spine is starting to come together. It's looking like a spine. I'm gonna wipe off the extra glue that I got on the back of the book because I don't want it to, even though both of these covers are gonna be covered with the Jane Eyre cover that I made from the scan. Now I'm placing this muslin that complements the colors that I've put into the journal. I'm just gonna place it on here and glue it down to cover up that space that I've made by cutting the spine down the middle. And even though this muslin is going to basically be covered, it's going to be covered by lace so that it will probably show through a little bit, but it'll hardly be noticed at all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the muslin on the book and I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew it down. I'm not going to apply a whole bunch more of the glue. There's plenty of glue that's sort of seeping through into the middle. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and there, and I'm just going to use regular, well, actually this is the PVA glue. I'm just going to lightly glue it down, not heavy duty, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew everything down. All right, so now I'm doing the same thing that I did on the outside of the book, only on the inside. I'm taking that muslin, the same piece of muslin, and I'm just going to glue down over the burlap that I used to strengthen the spine overall. And I'm going to just do the same thing. I'm just going to apply the glue. I'm going to spread it out and just put the muslin on top of it before I go over to the sewing machine to sew all the way around. All right, I'm just gonna go over both the front and the back and just sort of smooth everything down, bend it a little bit, see if it looks spiny. I think it does. It's got some thickness to it. It's, I think, going to be nice and strong. And this is the piece of lace that I'm going to put over the top of the spine. And of course, that extra muslin, it'll be covered by the book covers that I made to, go on the journal. And I'm just going to clip the lace to the book so that I can sew it down without it moving around too much. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and just sew all the way around. So I'm just going to sew it like around the top edge and the bottom edges. And so that's what I've done. I'm back from sewing and it's now all sewn down and it's nice and secure. So now I'm going to trim off the lace that's hanging over so that it'll, be nice and neat. On the top and the bottom. I'm going to test out the covers and see how they look on this reconstructed spine. And I like that brown lace with the two covers that I made. It looks really pretty. And I think I'm going to trim off this extra edge here because the back part does not have this overhang. So I want it to match, and it didn't look so great up against the lace, but I think it looks better just plain up against it like that. Okay, so now I want to take the covers and I have, put them on this really pretty sort of tan colored chipboard, and I'm going to use my Gathered Twigs Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to darken up the edges because I just think it's just too light in color and it needed to blend in better with the covers that I've made. So I'm just going over really with a lot of ink, and this is brand new ink, so it's pretty strong. I'm just going to go over both the covers. And that humming in the background is actually my neighbor cleaning out an apartment he rents. And he has this super duper powerful, I don't know what it does. It's like sucks all the dirt out of the apartment. So anyway, you can see that it bends really nicely. I think it's going to work really well. I'm going to test it out a little bit with the actual journal and see how it works. And while it does work, I just think it's not, I don't know, it just is a little bit flimsier than I want it to be. I don't want it to be super, super, super stiff, but I also don't want it to be flimsy. So I'm contemplating what I need to do next. So what I decided to come up with is I've cut a piece of chipboard and I've covered it with the muslin, and I'm going to make I'm going to sort of play with it, bend it and shape it a little bit so that it makes it a little bit stronger, because these journals, since they're made with heavy cardstock and they're going to be sewn in, I just don't want the spine looking like it's got osteoporosis. So that's what I'm doing here. I've covered this piece of chipboard, and I think it'll be much better for holding in these heavier signatures. In fact, it does exactly what I want it to do. So it's just perfect. All right, so I've applied Fabri-Tac because it's going to be attached to fabric. I want it to really hold. So I've done some bending and sort of shaping of it, and now I'm just, really trying to stick it down to that spine that I reconstructed, and it has some give to it. It's nice. It bends just like a book bends, and I think it'll be perfect for when I'm ready to put the signatures in. Okay, so I've already poked the holes in my signatures, and I've marked where I need them to go here. Of course, I marked here first, which was wrong, because I'm going to use my crocodile to make the holes to put my eyelets in, because I'm going to use what I call my traditional Keepsake journal ribbon spine. And so I've marked where I need to punch with my crocodile, and I have changed the order of the signatures. So what was going to be my first signature, I've made my second signature, because I just love the way this one turned out and like it for my opening signature best. So what we're going to do is we're going to first punch the holes for the eyelets like this. Go through, punch a hole, and I'm going to have to poke out the stuff. So I'm going to go along here. I'm going to punch the holes for each of the eyelets, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have set all the eyelets so you can get a good look. That's how they're going to look right in there. Like okay, that. I'm going to show you how I put in each signature, but I'm only going to do the first one just because it's the same thing over and over. So I don't ever punch a hole in the front because I don't want thread going across my pretty pocket. So it is a little harder, but you just sort of have to punch a hole and then go through like this when there's a pocket. So I start at the bottom so that my knot stays inside the pocket, and then I'm going to go up through here, and I'm going to go up through this one like that, and I'm going to go through the holes, try to get through both of them. There we go. And then I'm going to go back down through the pocket, down in here. I might have to pull on my knot a little just to get it out of the way. It is a little bit tricky. Actually, just binding journals in general is just not the fun part. It's just really not. It's the stressful part. Making the spine, getting it all ready. Then I'm going to just pull, go through, and pull. There we go. Come up, go back through. I think I'll go, let's see if I'll come up, and then I think I'm gonna just knot it. I'm trying to decide if I wanna go one more pass. I think I do, just because this is a heavier, dutier journal. So I'm gonna go through one more time, and then I'm gonna go back through the bottom like this, and hopefully come out the other hole. Now it's hard to see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. Go out there, because I want the string to hang down. I'm going to pull on it so it's tight. I'm going to test it. Yeah, I think it's in there nice. Let me see if it's tight. Yeah, it is. Okay. And then I'm going to use my lace that I've got on my spine sort of to catch part of the thread, just to anchor it. I'm going to bring my needle through. See, I've caught onto the lace, and I'm going to just pull it through and make a knot. I'm going to make another one just so it stays nice and tight. Just like that. There we go. And then I'm going to cut it off here so that I have plenty, just in case I need it for whatever reason. So there's the first signature in there. And I might need to tighten it up, but I think it'll be okay once the other ones get in there. So now I'm going to just turn off the camera just while I put in the other two signatures the same way. All right, so it is bound in here. I'm going to just take the clips out just to see how it moves a little bit. I'll probably, actually, I don't think I need to put them back in. Oh, here's another one. So here is the journal with the cover isn't completely on there yet. Yeah, it's all nice and it's in there nicely. A thing I'll probably do is I'll probably like run glue into each of these eyelets, but I'm going to wait to do that in a little bit. It'll just sort of hold it down a little better. So here's my covers, and I've got to adhere the covers to the journal. It'll look like that. I think I'm going to open up some walnut stain that I just got, fresh walnut stain, and I'm going to actually do the edges of the cover with that walnut stain to blend in nicely to my brown lace spine. We're up to this point. I'm going to figure out a few things, and then I'll come back and I may do the ribbon spine before I add the actual cover to it, but I want to figure out what I need to do. Oh, I don't need to do the green things because they actually are going to be glued down to this. That's right. Okay, that's good. All right, I forgot about that I didn't use that as just the cover by itself. I did use the book base for the cover. Okay, so I'm going to go grab some ribbon, and we'll do the ribbon spine, and I'll get my faux closure and decide how I'm going to work with it on the cover, or even if I'm going to use it, because I'm not sure. It may overwhelm my front plate here. All right, here are my choices. All right, my first choice for my faux closure is this, which was my original thinking. It does cover up the word illustrated unless I move it up there, and then it's too close to that. So I do think it's too big. Even though I love it, I don't think I can use that. My second choice is this closure, which I also like. It's a little more modern. It's a buckle, but it looks nice, and I like it. And I can put it right there, and it fits nicely in that area right there. I'm thinking I'm going to go with that, but my other choice are these Chicago screws, and I think I would use 2 of them like that. And let me just see if I can't make it bigger so you can see how it looks. See, there's that choice. I don't know, that's kind of pretty. It's sort of in keeping with the era. Or there is this choice. I'm having a hard time deciding. And what I will do is I'll put a ribbon under that. And even though these are pretty, those are pretty, I would wrap a ribbon around both of those. That may be more in keeping with the journal. I think I will probably do those. They're pretty, they're frilly, they're lacy. They sort of go with the look of the journal. Let me go out again. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. All right. Yeah, I think I am going to go with those. Now I need to mark where I'm going to put them. I want them to be on this line. So I think I'll put one right there. I think I'll put the first one on, and then I'll put the second one on. I'm sorry, I've got to get my crocodile again because I moved it. I put it away. Silly me. Because it's so cumbersome, I don't like it wonking around on my table. So there is, of course now I can't see the mark I made. I want it to go there and there. So it's right there. So I'm going to use my smaller hole. I think my smaller hole will work. Let me just see if the smaller hole goes. Nope, it's not big enough. Okay, so I got to use a bigger hole. And then put it right there. There. And the way these work is you put the screw in, and then you put the decorative little flower on top. There we go. And you need to, I usually do it with my nails because I don't have well, I could use this. It's not a screwdriver, but I think it'd work. Put it in there and then just hold it. That does work. Yeah. Okay, that makes it nice and tight. There's one. And then the other one needs to go just above it right there. So So let me just see if I can't mark the spot. There we go. Get that out. Okay. There. And of course I've now lost the other, oh there it is, okay. So I put it up there like that. And then I screw this on like this. There we go. Oh yeah, and then they're nice and tight and close to each other. I should probably go down and get a Phillips screwdriver. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna need to go down and get a screwdriver. Okay, I did do a ribbon spine down here. I'm gonna tie these off when the journal's all done. I just in case, I like to leave them on there just for protection. You never know when I might need to undo everything. So I'm just gonna leave it. Unfortunately, the video I made of the ribbon spine did not come out. So I do have another video of another keepsake journal where I do show how to make this ribbon decoration on the spine. But I think the blue does look pretty, especially since when you open the journal, there's so much blue in it. All right, so now we've come to the place where we are going to either put on our covers or do something in here with this part right here. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it like that or if I'm going to make some pockets. I may make some pockets to go there, or I may take some papers. Let's see, like if I took a plain paper and put it there, that might be pretty, and just cover up that fabric. And or if I'm going to actually use pages of a Jane Eyre, which I do have, which would be kind of pretty. I kind of like that. Yeah, I do like that. Just put that in there like that. Do one at the front and one at the back. And I may even add pockets, but I do like that idea a lot. Yeah, I think I will work on that. Let's see if I trim this off. I think I'll tear it. Yeah, I'm going to work on that, and I'll come back and show you how it looks. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to come on here and say, since that video ended kind of abruptly, that's the end of the video. I also want to ask, do you want me to make one more in this series with showing some of the ephemera and how I've made some of it? Or do you just want me to do a quickie 8-9 minute flip through? Because I do think you'd like to see the whole journal, and it really has turned out to be a pretty journal. I've really enjoyed making this journal with everybody and sharing parts of my process as much as I could on video. I also want to thank everybody for their friendship. I love this community, and I want to thank all my subscribers and likers. I just do this for fun. It's my relaxation. I really appreciate everybody who comes here and watches me. Thanks so much, and have a really great rest of your summer, and have a really great week. Bye.